So today we are going to discuss about the decline of Mauryan Empire. In this topic, we will try to find out the causes. We will try to find out the causes which led to the decline of this Mauryan dynasty. After the rule of about 150 years and after the death of Ashoka, the signs of decline in the Mauryan Empire started to occur. Now, what are the causes? What are the reasons which led to the decline and collapse of this Mauryan Empire? There is actually a controversy. There is a controversy among the historians that what actually led to the decline of Mauryan Empire. What are the important viewpoints from the historians as far as the decline of Mauryan dynasty is concerned? I am going to highlight those viewpoints here, and I will leave that up to you to analyze and to come to the conclusion regarding the decline of Mauryan Empire in India, Mauryan dynasty in India. So first important historian is H.P Shastri. There is one school of historians led by H.P Shastri who are saying that it was actually the Ashoka's religious policy. Ashoka's religious policy which led to the decline of Mauryan Empire. They are saying, the historians like H.P Shastri are saying, this was Ashoka's religious policy, his patronage to Buddhism, this religious policy in which he gave patronage to Buddhism, in which he provided, in which he gave disregard and disrespect, in which he disregarded Brahmanical rituals and sacrifices. Brahmanical rituals and sacrifices. His appointment of Dhamma Mahamatras for the promotion of his policy of Dhamma, which was inspired by Buddhism. Okay, his stoppage on animal sacrifices, which was an important component of the Vedic religion during those times. There is a tradition in the Brahmanical religion that there used to be a great sacrifice like Ashwamedha sacrifice, Rajasuya sacrifice, and all such kinds of samaskaras and sacrifices. He put a stoppage, he discouraged those sacrifices. If not a complete stoppage, he discouraged those sacrifices. He tried to propagate Dhamma, he tried to propagate Buddhism among the people. And they are saying that all this led to the reaction. All this led to the reaction among the Brahmins. And this reaction was taken to the action by Pushyamitra Shunga. This Pushyamitra Shunga led the foundation of the Shunga dynasty, which was the Brahmanical dynasty, and this Pushyamitra Shunga was actually a Brahman by birth. It was, this reaction which was against the actions of Ashoka, as H.P Shastri and other historians are saying, it led to the decline of Mauryan Empire. H.P Shastri is saying that Ashoka's religious policy was primarily responsible for the decline of Mauryan Empire. So just remember this analysis, this cause as far as the decline of Mauryan Empire is concerned. Now there is another historian, another important historian. His name is H.P. It's H.C. not H.P. It's H.C. It's H.C. Raichaudhary. H.C. Raichaudhary. H.C. Raichaudhary and other historians are saying the school of thought which is led by H.C. Raichaudhary, they are saying that it is the Ashoka's policy of ahimsa. Ashoka's policy of ahimsa. Non-violence. Ashoka's policy of ahimsa or the non-violence. This H.C. Raichaudhary is saying that Ashoka actually discouraged wars. He fought only a single war in his lifetime, that was the war with Kalinga. And after that he never tried to have any other war, which actually reduced the martial spirit of the soldiers. These soldiers became passive. They became redundant due to the lack of wars and due to the lack of fights. Ashoka propagated among his people the policy of Dhammagosha in place of policy of Bairigosha. He discouraged this policy of war and he propagated, after the Kalinga war in 260 BC, he propagated his policy of, this policy of peace among the people. So this army became redundant, and due to this policy of non-violence, this army became redundant, and this led to the decline and the collapse of the Mauryan Empire. This is the viewpoint put forward by H.C. Raichaudhary. So these are two viewpoints. Then again we have another historian. His name is Dr. D.D. Kosambi. Let's give it a third viewpoint. It's Dr. D.D. Kosambi. Dr. Kosambi is saying that these were the economic reasons. There were the economic reasons which led to the decline of Mauryan dynasty. Mauryan dynasty was a huge dynasty in size. They kept it a huge army, they kept it a huge centralized bureaucracy without actually trying to improve the economic conditions of the dynasty. This factor was further carried on by Ashoka. He kept such a huge army and administration without actually trying to improve the economic condition of the empire. Ashoka further elaborated. He added various new functionaries in his empire. He elaborated their functions and he brought new officials into the administration. When he brought such kind of officers in the administration, so naturally the revenue demands must have increased, but that never happened. It put an unnecessary economic pressure upon the resources of the Mauryan dynasty, which led to the decline of this Mauryan dynasty. So this is the viewpoint given by Dr. Kosambi, Dr. D.D. Kosambi. Then again we have the prominent historian of ancient India, Dr. Romilla Thapar. Dr. Romilla Thapar is saying that Mauryan Empire was highly centralized state. Mauryan state was a highly centralized state. The power was actually lying in various, in few hands. There was no question, there was nothing decentralized in nature. They utilized it, they concentrated their power in their own hands. So few persons enjoyed the power, and there was not any concept of decentralization or not any concept of national consciousness, as Dr. Romilla Thapar puts it. She is saying that there was nothing kind of national consciousness among the people at during those times, which was a negative factor as well as the decline of Mauryan Empire was concerned. So this viewpoint of Dr. Romilla Thapar, that they concentrated every power in their own hand. The power was lying in very, very few hands. This was a negative factor which led to the decline of the Mauryan Empire. So this is the viewpoint of Dr. Romilla Thapar, which you have to remember. Okay, then these are some 4 important causes which actually except this Dr. Romilla Thapar's cause, the 3 causes which I told you, they actually put the responsibility upon the shoulders of Ashoka. They are saying that it was Ashoka which was primarily responsible for the decline of Mauryan Empire. The modern research, however, says that Ashoka was only partly responsible. They are saying that Ashoka was not primarily responsible, but he was only partly responsible. for the decline of Mauryan Empire. So you can conclude this thing about Ashoka, that he was not primarily responsible, he was partly responsible for the decline of this Mauryan Empire. Okay, so those three causes, they put blame upon the shoulders of Ashoka. However, that is partially true. That's not totally true, that's only half true. It was actually the causes, the sum total of all the causes which led to the decline of Mauryan Empire. So another important cause we can say, this could be the weak successors after the death of Ashoka. There was no powerful successor who could succeed Ashoka. Ashoka, as you know, he had sons, but they didn't succeeded him. They were engaged in various kinds of activities at the provincial levels. Ashoka was succeeded by his grandson. His name was Dasaratha. Then, these all those successors after Ashoka, they proved very incompetent. They were not strong enough to actually revive their ailing empire. So these successors can be another important cause for the decline of Mauryan Empire. Again, as the historians put it, division of Mauryan Empire. The Mauryan Empire after the Ashoka got divided into two heads. One was headed by division of Mauryan Empire under Kunala and Dasaratha. The division occurred in the Mauryan Empire. This division led to the decline of this Mauryan Empire, so it can be another important cause. Then you can write down another important cause. It can be the oppressive policies. जब मैंने आपको introduction पढ़ाया था Mauryan Empire के बारे में, when I gave you the introduction about the Mauryan dynasty, I told you that there was a revolt. There was the revolt at Taxila, which was going on at the time of Bindusara. Bindusara was the father of Ashoka. Yes, Bindusara was the father of Ashoka. When the revolt was going on in Taxila, Bindusara sent his son Ashoka to suppress that revolt. When Bindusara tried to find out the causes actually about what led to the revolt at Taxila, he came to know that it was the oppressive policies of the provincial governors there in Taxila which led to the decline, which actually led to the oppression, and due to that oppression, the people rose into revolt against that governor. So by that thing, we can have this indication that the oppression was going on in the provinces. Mauryan Empire, it was spread over to the present day, some 5 countries of the present day Indian subcontinent. The emperor who was sitting at the capital at Pataliputra, he didn't knew as to what was going on in the provinces, what was going on in the Taxila, what was going on in the Ujjain, what was going on in the South India. So he didn't knew about those things. There was oppression which was going on, as the example of Taxila can be taken into consideration. So due to those oppressive policies, it somehow it contributed to the decline of the Mauryan Empire. Then again, the 8th cause, important cause, which you can note down, it can be about the foreign invasions. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, the various foreign tribes, various foreign dynasties tried to intrude into India, tried to invade India. Some of the important foreign these kingdoms were the Indo-Greeks. Okay, after the decline of Mauryan dynasty had started, some foreign principalities, foreign tribes tried to take opportunity to invade India. Due to they were knowing that there is a weakness going on in the Indian mainland. They knew that Magadha was no more powerful as that used to be during the times of Ashoka. So they intruded. They came to India with a view to conquer India. Among those tribes, among those invaders, one was the Indo-Greeks, followed by we had Indo-Greeks, followed by Kushans, then we had Parthians, then we have Shokas. Remember it in a chronological way from the examination point of view. So these foreign invaders like Indo-Greeks, they attacked India. When they attacked India, they put pressure upon its economic resources, which again contributed to the decline of Mauryan Empire. So these important causes led to the decline